Barry, the Irish Golf Tour Operators Association, you're a new member of ITIC. Tell us a little bit about the association.
Yeah, thank you, Owen. Well, first of all, I should say thank you very much for allowing us to join ITIC. We think it's a great opportunity for us, and we're delighted that golf, the voice of golf tourism, if you like, will have an input to ITIC. We think that's important. So thank you for that, Owen. We appreciate it.
It's only right and proper, Barry, that you're at the top table.
So yeah, I suppose the Irish Golf Tour Operators Association, it's an organisation that represents Ireland's leading golf tour operators. At the moment, we have 24 tour operator members, and we also represent companies that form the wider part of golf tourism. So golf courses, golf resorts, accommodation providers, transport companies, and indeed others who are not directly in the golf tourism, but activities that support, if you like, golf tourism and support tourism. So our common goal from a tour operator's perspective is the promotion of Irish golf tourism. And I suppose the positioning of Ireland as what we would regard as the best golf destination in the world. And our golf tour operators specialize in providing that sort of tailored package and the creation of, dream golf trips for people coming to experience golf in Ireland. And the remit of what the association is to represent the various segments of our membership on a number of issues and to facilitate networking and communication across the tour operators, their suppliers, and to promote the island of Ireland basically as a leading golf destination.
And your members would, as well as obviously the golf element, you also obviously look after accommodation, transportation, the A to Z of an experience in Ireland.
Absolutely. And I suppose that essentially is the benefit for anybody thinking of coming to Ireland on a golf trip, is that our tour operator will, amalgamate the whole package. So from your accommodation, as you say, from the booking of the tee times, which can be problematic to get the tee times, but our tour operators can do all of that, arrange the transport, arrange the accommodation, and the restaurants and any other activities that are required. So it's an all-inclusive package, and that's the benefit of using the tour operators, which is really important.
And it's big business, isn't it? Golf tourism to Ireland.
It is indeed, Owen. Yeah, it's huge. The estimates range probably in the order of about $500 million revenue to the economy, to the All Ireland economy every year. And I suppose when we look at golf tourism, it's important to think that we concentrate on not so much the volume of visitors, but the value. And the key thing about the golf tourist is that they spend between 4 and 6 times more than your normal tourist, if you like. And I mean, that's critical, I suppose, in terms of, there's a sustainability dividend from that as well, because
absolutely.
One golf tourist is worth, as I say, 4 to 6 times more. So it's about value rather than volume, and the overall contribution to the All Ireland economy is in the order of about $500 million.
Yeah, and there's great regional spread as well, because the clients your members look after go north, south, west, and east. They're not just in Dublin for 2 or 3 nights.
No, they're not. I suppose we did our own research towards the end of 23 into 24, and around 60% will travel along the Wild Atlantic Way.
Yeah.
From a golf tourism perspective, I suppose given the fact that 72% of the golf tourists that we cater for are coming from the USA, their primary focus is on links golf. And for that reason, they will do that sort of well-worn path of, we have some fantastic links courses in Dublin, Portmarnock Links, Portmarnock Golf Course, up to Baltray and Sea Point, then up to Royal County Down, Royal Portrush, Port Stewart, Nairn, Portnew, all around Donegal Golf Club, Merva, Enniscrone, down along the west coast, Sligo, Westport, into Galway, down into Lahinch and Ballybunion, the Old Head. That's the sort of well-worn path. And that's, I suppose, catering for the US links golfer. I suppose the centre part of Ireland, or Ireland's hidden heartland, is probably not well catered for, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't, we shouldn't forget Ireland's hidden heartland, because we've got fantastic parkland courses around the country. And, we've 10% of our visitors are coming from the UK, and they are not as wedded to the links experience.
Yeah,
And European golfers, they'll come. So I think we probably need to do a bit more in terms of focusing on the non-American market.
yeah.
We all know how dependent we are on the US market, and I
Yeah,
suppose
and is that the same? Is that the same for the golf tourism sector? The US market is dominant.
absolutely 72% coming from America. Um, there's obviously a huge advantage from our perspective, because they tend not to be price sensitive. But at the same time, I'm very concerned, I suppose, that we don't overprice
Yeah,
the product, and that we don't price ourselves out of the market. Because, as you know, and we've talked about this before, we've seen costs escalate year on
yeah,
year on year, and that's the same in some of the especially the trophy golf courses. The
yeah,
prices are quite expensive now
yeah,
for golf tourists. So we need to be careful that we don't price ourselves out of that US market, and we need to concentrate on growing other markets.
yeah,
If the dollar weakens, and look, with there's a whole, I suppose, geopolitical situation now, that there is some uncertainty. We know that uncertainty is not a friend of tourism.
yeah.
So, I think we should be looking at other markets.
And Barry, do you work with the tourism agencies in terms of stakeholder engagement?
We do indeed, own, yeah, and we're very, I suppose, lucky to be supported every year by our colleagues in Fáilte Ireland, in Tourism Ireland, and indeed Tourism Northern Ireland. It's an all Ireland focus in terms of golf tourism. So we depend on our colleagues in the agencies, and we work, I think, very well and very closely with them in terms of promoting that golf product for the island of Ireland.
Yeah, and golf, it's a global game now, isn't it? So when Rory McIlroy wins the Masters, it's seen by however many millions or billions of eyeballs around the world. So, as you say, there's an opportunity, isn't there, to fish more from the European markets or Asia. Keep America strong for as long as possible, obviously, but diversify. As you say, it makes business sense.
Absolutely. About 4% are coming from Europe for golf tourism,
Okay.
1% from Asia, 1% from Africa, Middle East and Africa, and the rest then is sort of domestic.
Yeah,
About 10% is domestic golf tours.
yeah,
So there is an opportunity, and I suppose the only thing we need to be, again, careful or mindful of is the fact that the Americans do tend to spend more. I've said that already, that 4 to 6 times, but that's
yeah,
predominantly because they're American tourists, American golf tourists. Um, the Europeans and the UK visitors probably a little bit more thrifty in terms of their spend. The American tourists, golf tourists, will spend in the golf pro shop, and they'll
yeah.
bring back mementos to their country club of what they've experienced. And if we do replace some of the American tourists, maybe the spend mightn't be as big from Europe
Yeah.
or from the UK. But again, I think we just need to be careful.
Yeah, it's a shared dilemma in terms of a
Yeah,
tourism strategy across golf and lots of other segments of
absolutely.
tourism.
Yes,
And of
exactly.
course we have you mentioned the Northern Irish golf courses. Of course, they're going to get the Open, aren't they? In
That's correct.
July,
Yeah, in
um,
July.
and and then of course we have the Ryder Cup in Adair, which isn't a links course, interestingly, in 2027. So Ireland and the island of Ireland is really going to be in the shop window, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you're right. I suppose the more immediate focus is on the Open now in July. And you mentioned already, Rory is a worldwide phenomenon at this
Yeah,
stage, and I mean he's one of six now that has that unique
yeah,
accolade of being a Grand Slam winner.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's a phenomenal sort of, I mean, even if you look at the TV footage of any of the competitions or any of the PGA competitions that are on, Rory is always the biggest
Yeah.
draw.
He's the tiger of yesteryear, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. But coming to Portrush as a Masters winner in July, and also Shane Lowry. I mean, let's not forget Shane won there in 2019, and he's back.
Yeah.
You know, it's a huge event, the Open.
Yeah.
But as you said, then the Ryder Cup in 2027, Ryder Cup is massive. Broadcast to over 200 countries. The attendance over the 3 days will be in the order of about 300,000. 1,500 volunteers.
Yeah.
So the Ryder Cup will have a substantial impact in terms of generating visitor numbers before, during, and after the event.
Yeah.
Not just in golf tourism, but tourism in general. But I think more importantly for an event like Ryder Cup is the fact that it creates a lasting legacy well beyond tourism in terms of infrastructure, job creation, and investment. So the overall benefits of an event like the Ryder Cup are much more longer term and longer
Yeah.
lasting. It's not just about the event itself. And I think that's something, you know, when the government and we invest as a country in bringing the Ryder Cup, you know, it has a huge, longer lasting impact than just the event itself. But as
Exactly.
you say, worldwide, you know, it's broadcast to over 200 countries. So,
Yeah.
you know, the eyes
Yeah.
of the
I mean,
world will be on.
you couldn't buy that sort of that
No,
advertising. I mean, it's
absolutely.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know you have your annual event in October, Barry. I presume things like, you know, how Ireland protects its value for money proposition in the context of the Ryder Cup, all those sort of things are discussed. You know, it's not just golf. You're looking at the bigger tourism picture when you meet up as a group.
Yeah, and we hope to discuss that specific topic at our conference this year in October, on the 19th and 20th of October. The 19th is generally a networking event in the morning and the afternoon, and then we'll have a conference in the evening, and we will discuss, as you say, those issues around protecting our value proposition and the golf product. Then on the Monday we have a golf competition. This year we're in the K Club, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So
Yeah.
the 19th and 20th of October in the K Club. We'll have a golf competition on the Monday. And then Monday night is our gala award ceremony where we reward the best golf course, the best
Yeah.
links course, the best parkland, the best hotel, the best boutique hotel, best golf manager. And we also introduced last year, which I think is key in terms of overall tourism, sustainability awards.
Yeah.
And we
Very good.
give awards to hotels, golf courses, or transport companies who have generated, you know, impressive results in terms of their contribution to the sustainability agenda, and that's important.
Yeah.
But
Are they happy enough, your members, with 2025? And I suppose how are the early signs of 2026 looking?
yeah, they're happy with 2025. As I say, it's locked and loaded at this stage, and positive, I suppose, cautiously positive or
Yeah.
cautiously optimistic about next year, given, as we said earlier on, the potential uncertainties that might
Yeah.
emerge over the next while. But so far, demand is relatively strong. Maybe a few less inquiries, but nothing that's sort of
Yeah.
worrying at this stage. But let's just see how things pan out over the next couple of months.
Yeah. No, we live in interesting times, Barry.
Certainly do. Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much, and the best of luck for the season ahead for you and your members, and keep up the good work because golf tourism is so important to the Irish tourism economy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Owen. It's great to talk to you.